has never stopped punishing Haiti for the crime of being the first black majority nation to successfully carry out an anti-colonial revolution when they kicked out the French in 1804. Since then, the US and France have colluded to kill at least 5 sitting presidents and engineered countless coups. The reversal of the Aristide coup by the Haitian people was met with crushing neoliberal reforms forced by the Clinton regime. A second coup against Aristide in 2004 by the French and Americans ushered in pro-West leadership that ensured no nation building would be carried out, no investment in infrastructure that might help Haiti to prepare for earthquakes and the ravages of global warming. The successful defiance of the Haitian people has been met with 200 years of imperialists attempting to keep them on their knees and then shedding crocodile tears at the resulting instability. I'd like to know, what right have we got to be interfering in this sovereign nation? Prison has never stopped punishing Haiti.
Welcome to another episode of You Left Shit Out. I'm your host, Compton J. Starting out with, I believe they're Irish elected officials. And I think I'll put it back up, but that's Claire sitting right next to him. Just opening up the stream with actual leftists speaking on a policy, and which happens to be our main topics today, which is what's happening in Haiti, U.S. invasion of Haiti. So that is the main topic. I'll throw the graphic up there just for a second. So hands off Haiti, that is a hashtag. You can search and pull up any like sort of items you want to look at or listen to, videos of Haiti, and we're actually going to check out that hashtag in just a moment. Also, we'll be talking about U.S. rehearsing dropping nuclear bombs in Europe. Just can't believe it. But this is the behavior of a bully. Excuse me. This is the behavior of a bully. So, again, welcome to You Left Shit Out. I will be hosting today, and later today I'll be appearing on a Medicare for All panel. And then tomorrow we have the premiere of NBA on RBN. So it's going to be me and Chuck Modi, who's a sports writer for Deadspin. He's going to be a regular co-host for this new show, what's called NBA on NBC. I'm sorry, NBA on RBN. And it premieres tomorrow, I believe 7 p.m. Eastern or something around there. But you'll see it when it's posted, and we'll send out those notifications when it's posted. So that reminds me to remind everybody, if you're not on our Substack, make sure you subscribe to our Substack if you want to be notified of unannounced streams or surprise streams or just upcoming live streams, premiering clips. If you're on our Substack, we send out notifications generally 45 minutes to an hour before the live stream start, or the video. Videos like clips are more like 15 to 30 minutes before it drops. So that is typically. So join our. That's typically how it goes. But join our Substack if you would like to do that. I'm gonna have that scrolling down at the bottom. So if you didn't get it, there it goes right there. The next thing is, let's like the video. Start out the right way. Let's get some more people in the chat so we can discuss this topic. And then we may just touch upon a few topics that are just hot on Twitter. If I have time, I'm going to do Twitter, what's trending on Twitter. And don't forget, our activist summit is this upcoming Saturday and Sunday, October 22nd and 23rd. All right, so let's do a couple of chat or a couple of let's check a couple of comments, I should say. Get away from Haiti, absolutely. Convo Couch has a stream saying it's already happened. Yes, we're gonna be getting into that. Hey fam, hey everyone. I second. I'm not going to throw up your conversational comments. I'll skip to more of the topic. Biden calling for preemptive strikes is scary. But that's not how they're framing it, of course. They're framing it as they're the white savior, of course. They still mad Haiti overthrew slavery. Yes. Yes. In preparation for this stream, I reached out to international journalist Dan Cohen. And he sent me a couple of receipts. Let me see where it's at. Oh, I already have it up. So he sent me a couple of receipts, and I'll start with this first one. To kind of set the scene, if you don't really know absolutely everything that's happening in Haiti, this video kind of gives you
on
the
September
backstory.
19th, activists gathered.
Let me see what he actually says, how he describes it, because I think the way he describes it might be better. A few weeks. So this gives the whole dynamic of what the U.S. is trying to do, which then he asks, which hasn't fundamentally changed much. So this video just kind of gives a backdrop. Now, let me give you the title of the video. The video is in the description if you want a link for yourself. Ex-U.S. special. Oh, you can see it on the screen. Ex-U.S. special envoy for Haiti, Dan Foote, send special forces to Haiti or 25,000. So let's listen to this. Now, some of you may see this short clip that will be in this video, and you'll know what it's referencing to. But let's listen to the video that this is Dan Cohen's video here, reporting.
On September 19th, activists gathered outside the White House to commemorate 1 year since the mass deportation of Haitian asylum seekers in Del Rio, Texas.
We are here because in spite of the brutality, the media attention, and the outcry and condemnation, thousands of migrants held at Del Rio encampment were still deported by Biden back to Haiti or expelled to Mexico.
The commemoration came as a popular uprising in Haiti entered its third week, sparked by International Monetary Fund imposed fuel price hikes amid spiraling inflation and a state of total insecurity. The U.S. and its junior partners, however, have sought to shift blame for the unrest onto local economic.
So let's pause here. Now, this is neoliberalism taking effect on the world, capitalism taking its effect on the world. And this is the reaction you get. But the way the ruling class is painting it is as if this is just unruly gangs instead of people are fucking upset at the conditions of capital, or how capitalism has drastically affected their way of life in a bad way. So you understand that we can never, the ruling class, mainstream media is never going to address the problem because the problem is capitalism. So they need people who are upset at the conditions or the conditions that capitalism creates. Those people need to be put down because we're not getting rid of capitalism. This is what capitalists are saying to us. So, but let's continue with Dan's reporting here.
Economic interests in so-called gangs.
Nou pral gen pou nou ajuste pri gaz la. Gen moun ki pral essayer chauffer tête nou. Di nou pran la rue pou pri gaz la pa vini nan pri normal li.
We continue to stand with our neighbor in Haiti as it faces political, fuel, gang violence, and an enormous human crisis.
That was such a propaganda-filled line, that section right there. All of the adjectives added on top of adjectives. Why would somebody do that? Think about it from a strategic point of view. Unless they're trying to color what's about to happen or what is happening. America has to be seen as the white savior, riding in on a white hat and a white horse. So that's the picture that is painted for almost all foreign policy intervention. We're riding in. The black and brown savages need the white person to come in and, install peace, install order. So that's the picture that he's painting with some of these words. But let's continue with Dan Cohen's reporting.
And we call on the world to do the same. We have more to do.
If you look at the protests that are taking place as a result of the end of fuel subsidies, they are financed by economic actors.
In attendance at the White House protest was former U.S. Special Envoy for Haiti, Daniel Foote.
So I want him to say that again, this line that he says, and then I'll speak on that line.
We have more to do.
Not Joe Biden, the next person.
If you look at the protests that are taking place as a result of the end of fuel subsidies, they are financed by economic actors.
So he's saying all of what's happening, the end of fuel subsidies, the protest, the anger, it's financed, figuratively, it's instigated by economic actors at play here. So it's the profits over people argument. It's the profits matter more than what that profit, the condition that profit will cause on another person. So we're going to do this. We're going to cause this economic pain so we can make a few extra dollars. But those few extra dollars to the very few ruling class affects millions upon millions of people. Look what we're going through in the United States. Look what's happening in Afghanistan with sanctions, the starving of people. Look what's happening in Yemen. Look what's happening in Israel, funding apartheid. So we're seeing colonialism, imperialism, capitalism, which all is, sort of overlapping characteristics, all sort of converging here. So, but let's listen to more Dan Cohen's reporting.
In attendance at the White House protest was former U.S. Special Envoy for Haiti, Daniel Foote, who warned that if Washington does not train a Haitian National Police unit to crush Haiti's so-called gangs, it will launch a full-scale invasion.
The U.S. has two choices. They either reinforce the police now, probably using military trainers, so send a company of special forces trainers to teach the police and set up an anti-gang task force, or send 25,000 troops at some indeterminate but imminent period in the future.
Foote resigned from his post in September 2021, citing the inhumane treatment of Haitians at the border as the breaking point.
I realized that I could no longer have the positive impact and push Haiti towards where it needs to go in my role as special envoy because of the guy in that building right there.
The resignation earned him praise from prominent intellectuals, including filmmaker Raoul Peck, who called Foote's congressional testimony shattering and redemptive, saying that it restored some measure of honor to decades of shameless American intervention. Since his resignation, Foote has been vocally opposed to continued U.S. support for Haitian interim Prime Minister Ariel Henry, who remains in office despite being implicated in the July 2021 assassination of President Jovenel Moïse.
So the guy in office, of course, has something to do with the assassination of the previous president. And of course, the United States had their hand in on this. But this kind of, now we get into more of the story later on in the stream, where this has kind of been every so often, this is what the United States does to Haiti. It's sort of like, you fuckers, you how dare you have a revolution and kick us out? we're gonna make you pay for that shit. And they've been paying for it for a few hundred years. But let's listen.
Rather than withdrawing support for Henri, Washington has sought to unite him with his principal rival, a coalition of traditional political parties and dozens of so-called civil society groups known as the Montana Accord. Described as a Haitian-led alternative to Henri, the Montana Coalition proposes a 2-year transitional government leading to elections. This accord is headed by Magali Como-Denis, who, like Ariel Henry, was a key figure in the 2004 U.S. orchestrated coup d'etat against President Jean-Bertrand Aristide. So far, the Biden administration's attempts to unite the two coalitions have proven unsuccessful. Despite Henri's ongoing premiership, the Montana Accord is increasingly favored by Washington. As the uprising has rocked Henri's government, the flagship U.S. think tank, the Council on Foreign Relations, published a strategy paper endorsing the Montana Accord as the most credible Haitian plan on the table, saying the United States should still help Haitians initiate its implementation. Early in 2022, as the Biden administration pressured the Montana group to compromise with Ariel Henry, the accord fractured. The Movement of Haitian Liberty and Equality for Fraternity, known as Mologof, pulled out, accusing Montana of partaking in an international plot and saying, "We're not going to facilitate the work of the imperialists." The Lavalas family party of former President Jean-Bertrand Aristide followed suit. As these members have broken off, Foote and the liberal establishment have promoted the accord as the ideal partner for the United States and its institutions.
So that whole oh, I'm quitting and all of this stuff, that was all part of the whole show. These people. But there's Americans who really can't fathom the United States. Like, it's just the questions that comes first. Well, why would we? Because it's a complete either never encountering information like this about the United States or seeing it and just refusing to believe it. This guy's, I think, because we had Dan on, the guy whose video we watched, we had him on and we played not this specific video, but this clip with this guy. And at the time in that video, it was Nick and CJ show. I was making a comment like this. He looks like a total Hollywood actor. Like, this is a joke. And this is before I knew what I know now. So, but let's get more into the video. Yeah, let's get more. We're about a third way through, a little more than third way.
They need somebody with whom the international community, the IMF, the donors can trust and work with, and the Haitian people can trust and work with to improve their lives and move towards choosing their own leaders.
The Montana Group is a mechanism to arrive at that?
Let's not call it the Montana Group, because then I'm sort of offering preference for one group or another. A consensus, let's call it. And the Montana Group last October 31st, I think, of 2021, signed a consensus agreement and broadened it significantly by January to the point where 80 plus.
It's almost like, I feel like if you've watched Mission Impossible, the movie, I feel like he's just gonna rip his freaking disguise off. That's what it feels like to me. This guy is a real character. He is a real character. Bad Cookie, this guy is no joke, CJ. He is a shadow, a ghost. If not him, there would be some other killer in his place. Yes. Yes, he is playing his position. Dana, what's up? He looks like he's wearing one of those John Voight masks, like in Mission. Yes. So you're thinking the same way that I'm thinking. That's the same reference that I was. He looks so John Voight-ish in that, like in Mission Impossible 1, which is, by the way, is the best Mission Impossible out of all of them. But let's get back to the video.
+% of the actors in Haiti, everyone that wanted in on it was in on it.
Foote, Washington, and its partners' primary objective is to eliminate the so-called gangs.
The gangs went from Aristide's guys that he would pay to go out on the streets to raise hell and get things done.
So, what typically, when a ruling class says gangs, do the ruling class, do they mean, are they referencing that to the community? Like these people are gangs to the community? Or these people are gangs as opposed to them? Like, would communists be referred to as gangs? Would socialists in the street trying to organize the community against neoliberalism after this crushing gas subsidy issue? Would the ruling class label them gangs? And then their PR arm, like the, you know, all of the news organizations just carry suit to label them gangs? And you see how that's loaded, just like the word terrorist is used. Gangs, you can't be for a gang. So, lots of comments about the guy on the screen. And yes, he is a character. What's up, BD? Yes, he is John Voight-like. Max Headroom, I haven't heard that in a while. But he does give off that. Now that you say that, I didn't think about it until I just read that. But let's continue with the video. Thank you. Shout out to Dan Cohen for the video.
Have developed into very sophisticated, heavily armed criminal organizations at this point.
Despite the criminal acts of groups like the 400 Mauzo, which kidnapped American and Canadian missionaries last year, the U.S.'s top target is its rival, a federation of armed groups known as the Revolutionary Forces of the G9 Family and Allies, or G9.
The G9 coalition, they were, a year ago at least, the best organized and the best funded.
This coalition, which calls for social revolution, is led by former police officer Jimmy Barbecue Cherizier. The U.S. government has accused Cherizier.
Barbecue, that's his nickname. And when Dan was on, Dan Cohen, that is, when he was on with Nick and I, that is what more was sort of the focus, because he has a documentary that's going to be dropping. When that documentary drops, he's going to come back on. So Dan Cohen, the reason I reached out to him, because he is on the ground, or he has people. I can't remember if he is in Haiti. He wasn't in Haiti when we streamed, but anyway, he has people on the ground, or he is in Haiti. And he was doing this documentary on this person in Haiti, and Barbecue is part of this documentary. And they're trying to make him out to be a criminal when he is really a revolutionist. So like I said earlier, when they're saying these names like gangs, what are they? Who is he a gang to? So let's listen some more about the reporting. And that's who's on the front of the thumbnail. Is Barbecue that I have on the thumbnail for this stream.
Top target is its rival.
So you see, there's a gang, there's a group of people. Let's use that. There's a group of people who did these kidnappings. 16 Canadians and I think one American is said, or something like that. I'll let it play until I get to that part of it. They're not really going after that group. They're going after that group's rival, and that's the name of it. That group's rival. And here is the total that I was looking to see. Oh, 16. I had it flipped. So 16 Americans and 1 Canadian. They're going after their rival, who is this revolutionary group that's led by this person named Barbecue. So I'm trying to make sure we're following the story. Let's continue.
Top target is its rival, a federation of armed groups known as the Revolutionary Forces of the G9 Family and Allies, or G9.
The G9 coalition, they were, a year ago at least, the best organized and the best funded.
This coalition, which calls for social revolution, is led by former police officer Jimmy Barbecue Cherizier. The U.S. government has accused Cherizier of committing a series of massacres, though has presented no evidence qualifying its charges as alleged. Nonetheless, Cherizier is the only so-called gang leader in Haiti under U.S. sanctions. Cherizier has gained support over the past 2 years as his calls for revolution have resonated amid ever-worsening conditions. Foote, in Haiti's largest daily newspaper, warned Haitians to not listen to Cherizier, calling him a criminal that must be hunted down.
So remember Foote, the guy, the John Voight looking person, Max Headroom looking person? That was a quote from him saying that barbecue needs to be hunted down. So let's continue.
Cherizier has...
And his full name is Jimmy Cherizier, spelled C as in cat, H as in Harry, E as in Eric, R as in Rick, I as in itinerary, Z as in zebra, I as in itinerary, E as in Eric, R as in Rick. So that's his last name. Jimmy is his first name. G9 leader. That's the name of the group for any of those that want to look up any of this stuff.
He has taken center stage in the ongoing uprising, blocking the country's largest fuel terminal and clashing with Haitian National Police. Top human rights figure Pierre Esperance, head of the Haitian National Network for Defense of Human Rights, which is funded by the National Endowment for Democracy, claimed that Cherizier is actually stamping out protests on behalf of Ariel Henry, though offering no proof for his allegation. Cherizier, manning a barricade outside the fuel terminal, addresses Ariel Henry.
Ariel Henry met grand moun sou, ça passe sou fiel nou a passé. Tande, ou met continuer bay ti politicien volé grand gou yo kob, continuer bay journaliste vicieux, journaliste grand gou yo kob, k'ap di kon sa ke nou gen problème nou pou n'krase mouvement. Et nou mouvement.
I'm going to rewind that because the banner was over the translation. So let me rewind that.
And clashing with Haitian National Police. Top human rights figure Pierre Esperance, head of the Haitian National Network for Defense of Human Rights, which is funded by the National Endowment for Democracy, claimed that Cherizier is actually stamping out protests on behalf of Ariel Henry, though offering no proof for his allegation. Cherizier, manning a barricade outside the fuel terminal, addresses Ariel Henry.
So I'm going to just briefly mute the sound and I'll read the caption as quickly. I might have to pause. So I'll read it. Let's start here. Let's move back just a second.
The fuel terminal addresses Ariel Henry.
It says, Ariel Henry, get ready for what's coming. The time, oops, that went pretty fast. Hang on a second here. The time, this time, we'll run over your legs. You can continue to give the little hungry, thieving politicians money. Continue to give hungry, greedy journalists money. Who say we are getting money to destroy the movement? We are the movement. The revolutionary forces of the G9 family and allies. We are the movement. Ariel is in our ass. Haitian people stand behind your barricades. So back to the guy. Well, he has his shades off in this interview, but that's what he said. That's Barbecue speaking. Just wanted to say it, read it, just for those who may be listening to this. I wanted to read it who may be listening to this and not watching this. So let me put it back to the video sound.
As special envoy, Foote advocated U.S. deployment of special forces to train a Haitian National Police unit to take out so-called gang leaders like Cherizier.
Did you ever propose any kind of military intervention to Haiti?
I proposed sending a company or so of U.S. Special Forces to train an anti-gang task force within the Haitian National Police. So you're talking about 30, 60 people.
As Haiti spirals out of control under Henry, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres and Haitian Foreign Minister Jean Genéus make similar proposals.
Il faut vraiment un programme international d'appui à la formation et à l'équipement de la police, mais qu'il faudra avoir dans cette perspective une force robuste capable de mettre fin à l'action des gangs.
La police nationale.
Okay, so I'm gonna do some reading here just for those that might be listening. I wanted to play it for those who are watching, and you can read it yourself. And then let's rewind it so I can read some of this for those that are listening.
Under Henry, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres and Haitian Foreign Minister Jean Genéus make similar proposals.
Il faut vraiment un
Now this is the person. So we must have an international program of support for the training and equipping of the police.
International d'appui à la formation et à l'équipement de la police, mais qu'il faudra.
But it will be necessary to have in this perspective.
Avoir dans cette perspective
a robust force capable of putting an end to the actions of the gangs, putting an end to the actions of revolution. If barbecue is an actual revolutionary, I haven't seen the documentary has not dropped yet.
Force robuste capable de mettre fin à l'action des gangs.
La police nationale.
Now, this is a Haitian foreign minister that's going to be speaking next.
Est en mesure d'effectuer le travail.
The national police is able to carry out the work,
mais elle a besoin.
But it needs robust accompaniment.
Besoin d'un accompagnement robuste de nos partenaires. Et de la formation
and an adequate training on the ground. So understand, it's reported, and this reporting is saying this Jean Genéus is installed by the U.S. government as part of the coup of the last Haitian foreign minister. Is that what yes. So when people say, "Oh, but Haitian government is asking for these things or requesting these things," understand they went in, killed the popular previous president, installed their own, and then just have that person who is a puppet of the United States say all these things. That's what's happening to make this, to legitimize it. So let's continue. So he's basically saying, the prime minister of Haiti is basically saying, the puppet is basically saying, parroting the same things that the French or that the Western powers are actually saying too. People that are willing to set out their own people.
Sur le terrain, avec l'aide de
with the aid of our partners in the international community.
Partenaires de la communauté internationale.
Other political forces are calling for an international force to do the job. Following meetings with U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris and top U.S. officials, the Dominican Republic has sent troops to its border and called for an international invasion of Haiti.
La crisis que desborda las fronteras de Haití es una amenaza para la seguridad nacional de la República Dominicana.
Tienen que estar enfocados, lo hemos repetido numerosas veces, en la pacificación inmediata. Es necesaria una fuerza robusta, capaz de recuperar la paz y poner fin a la violencia desatada por las bandas armadas.
Mira, no solamente con Nancy Pelosi, también nos reunimos con el presidente del Senado, el senador Charles Schumer de Nueva York, y también tocamos ese tema. Nos reunimos con el presidente de la Comisión de Relaciones Exteriores, el senador Bob Menendez de New Jersey, y también tocamos el tema. Nos reunimos también con la directora de la USAID, Samantha Power. Yo creo que lo que tenemos es ya que coordinar la ruta en ese sentido. Que ahora ya tenemos la misma opinión de que tiene que haber una fuerza especial que pacifique a ese país.
Guys ready to shoot?
U.S.-led aid to the Haitian National Police has been extensive. From 2010 to 2020, the United States pumped in $312 million for weapons and training. In 2021, the White House and State Department sent a combined $20 million. In July 2022, the State Department bolstered the SWAT training program with a $48 million package. The United Nations has sent another $28 million and Canada $12 million. While the U.S. reinforces Haitian police, they have sought to cut off arms trafficking otherwise, intercepting shipments smuggled through ports and making arrests. The Biden administration is now pressing the UN Security Council to enact its own sanctions against Cherizier and those who it alleges are arms traffickers. But Haiti is awash with weapons, and the Haitian National Police is an anemic force. Although they have attacked G9 neighborhoods and arrested and killed multiple leaders, the police have been unable to crush this neighborhood federation. State Department officials have publicly said that a U.S.-led training program working with France, Brazil, and Canada is underway. On July 30th, a State Department police trainer in Haiti complained in a Facebook post that only U.S. politicians could think sending 8 instructors down here could make a difference. Haiti needs military action if it wants true change.
Wow.
But Foote says the Biden administration is reluctant to ramp up U.S. involvement with Ariel Henry in office.
It's a critical step, and the appetite is because they are, I believe, very reticent to work and jump in with both feet with Ariel Henry, despite the fact that the U.S. anointed.
With Washington conscious of popular sentiment in Haiti against foreign interference, critical to its designs is the Montana Accord's image as Haitian-led.
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 Haitian-led. Haitian-led solution.
A switch from Henry to the Montana Accord would create credibility for more U.S. involvement. The Council on Foreign Relations notes that for the United States, working in greater partnership with such organizations could help restore Haitian confidence. Montana Accord founding member Ted St. Dick wrote on September 7th that the United States should use creative and aggressive tactics to intercept criminal activity in Haiti. While Haitian-led is a useful slogan for public consumption, U.S. and Canadian policymakers seek to lead from behind.
We cannot continue to see external elements, no matter how well-meaning, try to determine the future of Haiti. Haitians themselves need to be at the center.
The same day,
regional partners like CARICOM and global partners like Canada, U.S., France, Europe, European Union, and others have an extremely important role to play as well.
I also think just leaving it up to Haitians to resolve their problems is also, I think, a line that I think ignores a really, really concerning and deteriorating situation inside the country.
I've heard your answers about our overall goal of a Haitian-led democratic process. I share that. But what is our initiative to try to create some semblance of security?
We, INL, are working very closely with the Haitian National Police, the new Director General. We are going to send advisors.
However, Russia and China voted to shorten the U.S. police advisor mandate, prompting Washington to look for a way around international bodies.
And why do you think Russia and China stopped us? Because they want total unrest in the hemisphere, the authoritarianism. At some point, we have to think about how we circumvent that.
Washington has done just that.
So countries they want unrest. It's just, who believes what the United States says? Who believes this stuff?
A 2019 law called the Global Fragility Act has created a framework for U.S. intervention.
So this is the part that is most important, and he explained to me also in the tweet to me. He said the Global Fragility Act is what is most important to focus on, because that's what the U.S. is going to try to use or have used. So let me rewind it back just a few seconds so you can perk your ears up for this next few seconds of video.
Washington has done just that. A 2019 law called the Global Fragility Act has created a framework for U.S. intervention. The act aims to strengthen U.S. control of so-called fragile states as part of the 2017 National Security Strategy's focus on great power competition. It is a joint State Department, USAID, and Department of Defense program that would direct the U.S. military to play a critical role in facilitating basic public order and build the capacity of foreign security services. U.S. forces would operate through small footprint, coordinated, partner-focused activities, similar to Daniel Foote's formula. Pentagon methods also include psychological operations and information operations engagements. The Global Fragility Act and Montana Accord work in conjunction. The Council on Foreign Relations summarizes the U.S. strategy as a more targeted form of international assistance through the Global Fragility Act, with Haitians playing the principal role. If the U.S. doesn't achieve its military objectives with the Haitian National Police, Foote says an invasion of Haiti, the fourth in a century, is guaranteed.
One of the other.
4 in a century. So if you just average every 25 years, so you literally could have experienced 3 in your lifetime. Creating conditions. So what propaganda does. So all of this, well, why is they're creating all of these, stories to do all this? This is all to create the conditions of believability of why they really want to go in. So if you're asking yourself, well, why does the United States take the time to do all these backstories and add all of this, CIA sort of lies, State Department lies to the story, and it's to create a believability for when they go in, for what they want to do, which is deploy soldiers, foot soldiers there. Just the extent that the United States will go to as the imperialist power on the planet is beyond most Americans' understanding and belief, in my opinion. Now, this video has less than a minute, like 45 seconds. So let's finish it out.
Train the police, give the police their capacity back, or we're going to have to send in 25,000 troops in a combat stabilization mission, which will accomplish what it sets out to do, but there's no sustainability there whatsoever.
While Foote and Biden officials disagree on tactics,
why is he out on the grass giving this seems so like it seems so like such a psychological op on the public. Like, just like what? Go back. Where did he kind of show where he was? Oh, maybe it's so small. Let me go back, and it's gonna cut to it. You'll see him standing when it pans, and it show him standing, like he's just outside talking to people like this.
Combat stabilization mission.
It's really brief, so you got to look at it very quickly.
But there's no sustainability there whatsoever.
While Foote and Biden officials disagree on tactics, they agree that U.S. intervention is the answer.
The other has been to try to strengthen the Haitian National Police so that an international presence is not necessary. That is challenging and a long-term undertaking.
Regardless of whether Ariel Henry remains in power or the Montana Accord replaces him, the U.S. is locked and loaded with options for all scenarios.
Haití no puede esperar más.
And that's it. So video by Dan Cohen. This one was done for Mint Press. So again, shout out Dan Cohen. Thank you for sending me the video. I had watched part of it before, but in response to my question of, hey, I need the latest and the best information to kind of explain from day one, from point A, and he said, hey, there's a video. He sent me an article too, so I'm going to play the article too. Read the article too. They are giving you a heads up as what they are doing. Can't you all see this is weakness at its finest? no sustainability whatsoever. And I was going to point at that too. Do you understand that what he said, sending in troops, there's no sustainability, sort of what's happening in Iraq. There's no sustainability of that. So is it a permanent occupation? Is it a 10-year occupation? Is it a 20-year occupation of Haiti? China is smart enough to realize the U.S. has been its own worst enemy. Collapse is inevitable. USA, CIA act like mobsters. This disgusting demon. He's referring to the person on the screen. Russia, on the other hand, ain't above them to send military aid to in any nation in the globe south that invites them. Yes. Combat stabilization. The cognitive dissonance, my eyes are getting a little blurry here, are our poor troops go through. Going to these places to kill poor people must be amazing. Yeah, so let me now pop up. Actually, I do want to go. Where am I? Let's go to Twitter, because I do have a bunch of tweets I want to show. Some with video about this topic. So let's do that now. So let's go to Twitter. This is a hotter topic. We're also going to bring up the, what is it? Black Alliance for Peace put out a statement on U.S. sending troops. So we're going to talk about that also. But let's go Haiti. Oops. Haiti. Okay, Haiti. What did I type before? I'll just type Haiti. I can't. It was Haiti and something else that I typed before, but we can keep it generic. And let's see here. Okay. Oh yeah, it brings up some of the same ones I was going to bring up. So this one by Caitlin Johnstone, friend of the network. So I'm going to blow that up so we can see this here. We're going to go through a few tweets about this. And then we're going to get to a couple of articles and some more video. What time is it? Okay, so I got to just check my time. We only have one other item, in which is the U.S. is rehearsing dropping nuclear bombs. So that's the next article. And this is harm reduction. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But anyway, let's get to this tweet. Caitlin Johnstone, while the U.S. is really sending armed vehicles to Haiti to help squash the exact sort of uprising it's been supporting in places like Iran, Venezuela, Cuba, and Hong Kong. And let's see what other tweets we have here. This one by Gritty is the Way. I've read a tweet by Gritty is the Way before. Haiti is the only country to have staged a successful slave revolt. The colonizing world has been punishing them for it ever since. Absolutely. As the U.S. is preparing to militarily intervene in Haiti, yet again, remember that for more than a century, Haitians have been robbed of their right to sovereignty by the U.S. Here is a thread which documents this either via coup, invasion, or occupation. And this, I mean, I've read through this thread. It does have some information, but let's go through just a couple of the items here, because it does have some good information here. So let's make this a little bigger. There we go. All right, so in 1915, U.S. Marines invaded Haiti, beginning a brutal 19-year occupation, which killed 15,000. The Americans looted Haiti's wealth, stole hundreds of thousands of acres of land, and secured harsh control over the country for U.S. business interests. And there is a photo of showing that those just got to keep fucking with people, boy. So let's go to the next part of this thread. The U.S. created chain gangs to build roads and other construction projects and built military camps throughout the country. In 1920, Herbert Seligman wrote in The Nation that Haitians were shot on sight by U.S. Marines and, quote, machine guns have been turned on crowds of unarmed natives. Continuing with the thread, the brutal occupation led to an insurgency, and U.S. Marines took a picture of the killed Haitian rebel, Charlemagne Peralty, who they strung up naked in loin cloth. This photo was dropped from planes across the country as a warning to those resisting U.S. occupation. Now you understand how can a just country be okay with what's happening in Yemen, what's happening in Palestine? Well, if you've done these types of things, these types of atrocities yourself, that's nothing. The U.S. installed a puppet government and a brutal army and police force modeled on the U.S. occupation force. So let me just pause here. So this is what the U.S. does. They go in, overthrow the government, overthrow the elected leader, install their own regime, train the police forces to be brutal occupational forces to keep that puppet regime in power. So that's what the U.S. does. So let me reread this. The U.S. installed a puppet government, a brutal army and police force modeled on the U.S. occupation force to replace the Marines after they left in 1934. The U.S. occupation set off a century of U.S. invasions and exploitations. On September 30th, 1991, U.S. backed a coup against Haiti's first ever democratically elected president, the populist priest Jean Bertrand Aristide, campaigned on programs to benefit the poor. He was elected due to remarkable organizing by everyday people throughout Haiti. Aristide implemented effective, let me blow that up for those reading, implemented effective reforms and improved the conditions in Haiti. He cut corruption, halted atrocities and drug trafficking. His obedience to U.S. demands were deemed unacceptable. U.S. began falsely claiming he was an authoritarian and was committing human rights abuses. Doesn't that sound familiar? Authoritarian, human rights abuses. Don't they say that about the Venezuelan president? It's such a textbook thing that they do every time. U.S. set up fake human rights orgs that helped destabilize this government. Then, after 7 months, U.S. backed a coup and installed brutal military junta. The CIA was present at Haitian Army headquarters during the coup, and the key individuals behind it received money and training in the U.S. On September 20th, 1994, merely 28 years ago, U.S. invaded Haiti to install President Aristide under, I'm sure I'm saying that name wrong, under the conditions that he opened up Haiti to U.S. economic domination. The U.S. had previously supported a coup against Aristide in 1991, who had promised to develop Haiti and improve the lives of the country's poor. The U.S.-backed candidate lost badly, so 8 months later, the U.S. installed a brutal military junta, I think that's how you said, that killed 5,000 people. Following an international outcry to the savagery of the U.S.-supported junta, the U.S. allowed Aristide to become president after he agreed to accept the neoliberal position of the U.S.-supported candidate of Haiti's 1990 election, Marc Bazin, who got just 14% of the vote. This opened up Haiti to continued exploitation by U.S. corporations and produced an economic disaster. In 2010, 12 years ago, Clinton confessed that Haiti lost the ability to feed its people because of the policies he imposed, the perils of the humanitarian intervention. That's the article for receipt. In 2004, U.S. military forces abducted Haitian President Jean Aristide and forced him out of the country as part of a coup, which included a U.S. UN occupation and killing or a disappearance of 8,000 Aristide supporters. Wow. This marked the second U.S.-backed coup against Jean Bertrand Aristide. The first was in 1991. Aristide was Haitian's first democratically elected president. He championed the poor and called for France to pay $21 billion to Haiti for their colonial crimes. The U.S. undermined Aristide, I think I'm finally starting to say it right, by blocking vital humanitarian aid to the country and by funding his political opposition, as well as armed rebels who helped oust him in 2004. The UN occupation of Haiti is still ongoing. Leaked U.S. cables show the U.S. saw the UN force as an important way to prevent resurgent populist and anti-market forces from gaining power. It described the UN force as an indispensable tool to realize U.S. policy interests in Haiti. And I think I'm going to end this thread there. A very long thread filled with lots of information. But let's go to some of your comments before we bring up another video and sort of get to the nearing the end of this segment for this topic here. So let me see here. I'm going to take a break from my eyes just to say, please like this video if you're watching right now. Let's see where we're at. We're at 142 likes. Can we push to 175 or 200 if you want to push it there? Let's push to 175 or 200. And thank you. This is You Left Shit Out, and we're just covering Hands Off Haiti. USA sends troops to Haiti. So, and that was a great thread. Now I'm going to go to some of your comments here. And let's see. Yes, it's one of those things. I see the comment about reading. I'm a guy that likes visual. I like to show video for content, but then there's just certain topics where, and this Haitian thing is just certain topics where it's a lot of reading to just really understand what's happening. So I get it for those that could think that this is a drag. That's why I like to chop it up or do video, then come back to reading, then do video, then come back to reading. So what I'm gonna do is, let me throw this up there. This is why many countries turned to Russia and China. Only one coup will never do. Let me now go back to Twitter, but now I'm going to bring up some video content here on the same topic, but that was a very informative thread that we went through. Oops, I hit escape when I need to hit back. Here we go. Okay, I think there now. All right, I gotta go back again. So sorry, I didn't realize I had went into the thread so deep. So I didn't know I had to back out so many times. All right, so let's get back to the search. Maybe I'll just, okay, let's see. If that, okay, that may finally have been it. So let's see if there's any video. What I want to do is show you how the perspective from mainstream media. So let's see if they have anything, or if they're kind of keeping this hush hush. Now, this is one of the videos I am going to play. That's just not yet. And that's the video was the intro video for today. So let's play this one from Kanshan News. I use them all the time, but I never have to pronounce them. But this is Security Council. U.S. Mexico draft resolution would authorize a non-UN international security mission to intervene in Haiti against the desires of Haitian people. So, of course, they have a black face to deliver this news. So let's listen to understand what they're doing here. And then they had Juan, who's part of I forget what department, or if he was an ambassador. They had this Latin American who was representing that department, and we have this blackface representing us here. But let's listen to what she says.
The second resolution we're working on would authorize a non-UN international security assistance mission to help improve the security situation and enable the flow of desperately needed humanitarian aid. This reflects one of the options that the Secretary General recommended the Security Council consider. This is also a direct response to Prime Minister Henry's and the Haitian Council of Ministers' request for international assistance.
Their request. Now, understand how it works. Get rid of the democratically popular president, install your own U.S. puppet as president, and then just have that puppet request. And then you go, they're requesting it when it's your puppet. You're controlling the puppet. So it's like you're doing this. And then you're going, look, they're requesting us send troops. When you're controlling it, you can see the puppet. It's so funny in the sense that it's ironic, not funny in the sense that, haha, but
assistance to help restore security and alleviate the humanitarian crisis.
And now
the second resolution we're working on
the empire is using black and brown and female and other faces in order to push the same white supremacy propaganda and agenda. And it's not progress to have a black face deliver the same terrible policy. So let's do some other video. I think this might be breakthrough, but let's read this here. For weeks, tens of thousands of Haitians have been protesting against the U.S. installed regime of Ariel Henry. This is the puppet Ariel Henry. Now Ariel is calling for foreign intervention to crush the protest, and the U.S. is pushing for a UNSC resolution to deliver it. Hands off Haiti. So this may not have a lot of sound, but it's a short video. We'll play, and you can see some of the protests that's happening. But we'll listen and see if it has sound. So now I'm going to let it play and read the captions as it goes. Oops. Haiti is protesting against the threat of yet another foreign intervention. Although Haiti's Prime Minister, Ariel Henry, requested foreign troops, he is unelected and widely seen as an illegitimate... Oops. I should have paused it like I did the first two. He is unelected and widely seen as an illegitimate stooge of Western powers. Henry has been facing mass protests for months, calling for his resignation. If another foreign intervention hits Haiti, it's clear they won't be welcomed. So that's just amazing what's happening over here, the treatment. But let's continue with any other video here. And I'm going to read the caption of this video. On the sending of a special, quote unquote, special foreign force to Haiti, China has taken note of the quote, immediate opposition from some political parties and groups to the presence of a foreign armed force in Haiti at a time when the Haitian government lacks legitimacy. So that's what he says here, and we'll play it, but that's what's discussed in this video. Let's see if it's in English. I don't think it is.
The recent proposal by the
Oh, it is translated. So let's listen.
General on supporting Haiti's improvement of its security situation deserves to be studied carefully, and China is ready to have an in-depth exchange of views with others. We have taken note of the recent call by the Haitian Prime Minister for a specialized force to be sent to Haiti. We have also taken note of the immediate opposition from some political parties and groups to the presence of a foreign armed force in Haiti. At a time when the Haitian government lacks legitimacy and is unable to govern, will sending such a rapid action force to Haiti receive the understanding, support, and cooperation from the parties in Haiti? Or will it face resistance or even trigger violent confrontation from the population? These are the things we need to consider in an integrated manner and treat with caution. The recent proposal...
U.S. is like, fuck that shit. We about to go up in here and turn this shit out. Fuck your cooler heads, China. Oh, yeah. Oh, here goes another one. Mexico, who co-authored 2 draft resolutions on foreign intervention in Haiti, says it will continue its cooperation with Haiti's national police, including its training of Haitian armed forces. I don't need to play that video. And then what? So Haitian protesters march with Russian flags, distrustful, exploited, and occupied by the international community so many times. They urge China and Russia to block. They urge China and Russia to block Haiti's ability to function as a sovereign nation. They urge China and Russia to block Haiti's ability to function as a sovereign nation. They urge China and Russia to block Haiti's ability to function as a sovereign nation. They urge China and Russia to block Haiti's ability to function as a sovereign nation. They urge China and Russia to block Haiti's ability to function as a sovereign nation. They urge China and Russia to block Haiti's ability to function as a sovereign nation. They urge China and Russia to block Haiti's ability to function as a sovereign nation. They urge China and Russia to block Haiti's ability to function as a sovereign nation. They urge China and Russia to block Haiti's ability to function as a sovereign nation. They urge China and Russia to block Haiti's ability to function as a sovereign nation. They urge China and Russia to block Haiti's ability to fun in the UNSC any new efforts to re-invade and reoccupy their homeland. So I don't know if it has sound, but let's play this here. It's just a video of showing the people and how they're marching with the Russian flags, it looks like. So you can see that along with the caption that I read. Wow. Oops. So I haven't been able to find yet any corporate news outlet, at least on Twitter, that's covered it. But let's go to the oh, this is a demonstration live from the Haitian demonstration in Brooklyn saying no to the U.S. core to the UN U.S. core group military intervention in Haiti. So that's just showing some protests, and I know you can see that on the screen here. Wow, so there's protests. I can blow it up for those watching. So this is protest that's happening. I believe it said in New York. This is a pretty good sized protest for what's happening. Did it say New York? Did I get that right? Brooklyn, yeah. Now here's the video of Joe talking about Haiti. I think there was a bigger version. Let me see if I can find that. Where he appeared larger. I'm getting Eric here it goes. This one. So let's
the Caribbean.
Let's listen. This doesn't give the whole context. But I'll let it play. And then the other video gives a little more context. So let's listen.
Haiti just quietly sunk into the Caribbean or rose up 300 feet. It wouldn't matter a whole lot in terms of our interest.
I'll let it loop.
Haiti just quietly sunk into the Caribbean or rose up 300 feet. It wouldn't matter a whole lot in terms of our interest.
And I'm going to let it loop one more time. That's our president. So how do you think it's going to shape the policy that's happening now?
Into the Caribbean or rose up 300 feet. It wouldn't matter a whole lot in terms of our interest.
And then there's a longer version of this video, which was the one earlier. So I'll scroll back up and to that video. It was before that. This one. Okay. This is the longer version. Let me see. Yeah, this is the longer version of the video. So let's listen to what Joe Biden had to say.
Editor of a paper in the Delaware Valley asked their reporters to come down and talk to me and said, why is Biden so concerned about Bosnia and not about Haiti? Is it because blacks are involved in Haiti? Blacks are what at stake in Haiti, and in Bosnia, they are European whites. There is major arsenals of nuclear weapons where they have long histories of national wars, where ethnicity dominates. That is a phenomenal potential consequence to the United States. If Haiti, a god-awful thing to say, if Haiti just quietly sunk into the Caribbean or rose up 300 feet, it wouldn't matter a whole lot in terms of our interest.
The world and
editor of a
just can't believe that or I can believe that they're just not, they don't give a fuck that they're saying this shit on screen, you know, just terrible people. This is who Hermela, let's see what she put up. She did not put up anything, but let's read her. Hermela, friend of the network. She was on our anti-imperialist summit. Eyes on Haiti. Haitians say no more to UN call for occupation. My conversation with Haitian Canadian author and activist. And there's a link there if you want to go check that out. But let's now go to the where is it here? Black Alliance for Peace statement. We're not going to read the whole thing. It's fairly long. But let's give again, this is the Black Alliance for Peace. We're just going to read a little bit of their statement on this, on Haiti. Where am I? So for immediate release, Black Alliance for Peace opposed Biden administration Security Council resolution on Haiti and calls for its veto. This is October 17th. And let's read a little bit of it. The Black Alliance for Peace opposes Biden's administration Security Council resolution on Haiti and calls for its veto. I'll make this slightly bigger for those reading along. For immediate release, media contact, and they give their information there. On October 17th, 2022, that's today, the Black Alliance for Peace emphatically opposes the Biden administration's draft resolution to the United Nations Security Council to call for the immediate deployment of a multinational rapid action force to Haiti. We have specifically asked 2 permanent members of the Security Council, the representative of the People's Republic of China and the Russian Federation, to veto this resolution. I'll pause here. The same people in the article, what were we reading? No, the video, the tweet that we saw, the caption was showing the Russian flags, and they were requesting for this to be vetoed by Russia and China. So it looks like the Black Alliance for Peace is asking the same thing. But let's continue with the statement. Western nations led by the United States and supported by Canada and the Dominican Republic and the Caribbean community, among others, are at the forefront of the push for another foreign military intervention in Haiti. Through a global public relations campaign, they are justifying invasion by pointing to a humanitarian crisis, including a new choleric outbreak hang on a second, that has come about as a result of gang violence. Yet by now, we should know that when it comes to Haiti, we cannot trust the words of Western politicians and the coverage of Western media. In the context of the current crisis, politicians and media have worked over time to shape the discussion of Haiti by highlighting particular details while ignoring important historical facts. In the first instance, when calling for military invasion of Haiti and promoting a narrative of crisis, the Western media does not acknowledge that the current government in Haiti is unelected and unaccountable to the Haitian people. It also fails to acknowledge that one core demand of the people for authentic Haitian self-determination. Therefore, the last thing the Haitian people want is another humanitarian, quote unquote, I'm sorry, I should say that again, want is another, quote unquote, humanitarian invasion and occupation by the U.S. and the core group. Second, rarely does the media mention that along with the demand for self-determination, the nationwide protests of hundreds of thousands of Haitian people have also been against the massive economic distress caused by sharp increases in the cost of living. This increase was a direct result of major increase in the cost of fuel, an increase decreed by the puppet prime minister and dictated by the IMF. Third, media coverage refuses to implicate the U.S., France, and Canada in the 2004 coup d'etat, which removed the country's popular elected president, eventually leading to the current crisis. Much of what we hear about Haiti today is a distorted or outright fabrication of Haiti's social and political reality. Much of it lacks historical context, especially when it comes to the unrelenting meddling of foreign agents and institutions for understanding the Haitian situation. Much of it is based in deep racism that presumes that Black people are ungovernable while resenting the implication of Haitian historical commitment to Black freedom. As a response to distortions and depictions surrounding Haiti, the Haiti American team of the Black Alliance for Peace has compiled a dossier of recent statements, essays, and articles which collectively demonstrate both the imperial origin of Haiti's crisis and the racist justification supporting it. We have to be clear. The crisis of Haiti is a crisis of imperialism. And let me read the last line of this. I didn't realize I read it that quickly. The Black Alliance for Peace, in alignment with the wishes of the Haitian masses and their supporters, absolutely stand against any foreign armed intervention in Haiti and continues to demand an end to the unending meddling in Haitians affairs by the United States and Western powers. And that is the full statement of the Black Alliance for Peace on this matter. What else did I have here? Oh, and now I have to go. There's another article here that I will cut in here, and this is another article that Dan Cohen also sent me, just to get an understanding of the Global Fragility Act, Washington's new tool for controlling an unruly Haiti. Let me close this here. This will be the last article simply because I got to get going and start to pick up the little ones. Hands off Haiti. So let me do a quick check of comments just to get your comments in before I continue with this article. But this is I hope that this stream is providing a lot of information if you're like, I didn't know anything what was going on in Haiti, and I'm hoping that it gives you a foundation to now understand what's happening and what the U.S. trying to do this intervention. Oops. Okay, so no message. Sorry. Looking at my phone to see if I had any sort of message here. We're at 206 likes. Can we push to 225? Can we push to 225? 225 likes. And now let's look at our comments and see what we're talking about. Unruly Haitians. Oh man, yeah, those unruly Black people, those unruly Africans, those unruly dark-skinned people. Russia standing up to the U.S. imperialism has already lended huge support to anti-imperialists globally. The tides are shifting. How powerful is that group over Haiti? Good question. IMF keeps small developing nations as third world countries unless they have natural resources. Standing ovation for Black Alliance for Peace in their statement. I also agree. Invading to spread democracy is the biggest scam of all time. IMF, the American organization, that bleeds third world countries dry. That is what the IMF does and who they are. China can only give harsh words and cut American business. Russia will only send aid if Haiti asks. Both are already fighting America on their own fronts too. It's just time for war for U.S. Bourgeoisie. I'm assuming that's what that's short for. free Haiti from Western intervention. Yes, so let's read a little bit of this next article because it gives you the context of let me see how he describes it. This explains the Global Fertility Act in more detail, which is what the U.S. wants to use to go through the UNSC. So this is the act they want to use to pull this off, or have used. If I don't know if any updates have happened, so that's why I'm using both past and present, or past tense. So let's read this article, or read part of it at least. Let me make, okay, so there's just 2 ads. I'm just seeing where I'm going to go with this. So, with Russia and China increasingly assertive and influential worldwide, Washington recently rolled out its gamut to maintain global hegemony and gather further former colonial and neo-colonial under its wing. Let me make this bigger. I believe this is in the comments too. I believe it is. So this article. The U.S. government has selected Haiti to be the first GFA partner in the Western Hemisphere. Also in the GFA's pilot group are Libya, Mozambique, Pompeii, the New Guinea, along with West Africa's Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea, Guinea, and Togo. I said all of those names wrong, and I know. The GFA has been largely applauded by U.S. policy commentators and think tanks as something novel and enlightened, but it is essentially a reformulation of Washington's same old imperialist policies under new imperialist policy. I was leaving there. What is the Global Fragility Act? And that's what the GFA stands for. So if you were reading it earlier, the U.S. government has selected Haiti to be the first GSA, Global Fragility Act partner. So that's the full name. So that's what the GFA stands for. The GFA was signed into law on December 20th, 2019 by President Donald Trump with full bipartisan support. It is endorsed by Biden administration and as a means to advance America's national interest on the world stage at the dawn of a decisive decade. The Biden administration hopes the GFA will establish the United States as a trusted partner, a force for peace and stability in the world. The GFA outlines a peace-building strategy to stabilize conflict-affected areas and prevent violence and fragility. It emphasizes building relationships with local civil societies by strengthening with ING also the capacity of the United States to be an effective leader of the international efforts to prevent extremism and violent conflict. This capacity, or quote unquote capacity, also includes planned security assistance. A report on the GFA by the Alliance for Peace Building, a coalition of NGOs that advocate for the GFA passage, also emphasizes the quote critical role of the Department of Defense in the quote implementation related to the Global Fertility Strategy by ensuring a broad range of security assistance activity which would enable the United States to successfully execute military objectives with and through its partners in fragile states. Funding is managed by United States agencies for international development and its parent, the U.S. State Department. Afghanistan was a prototype for the new state defense collaboration, where the partnership between the military and the USAID was described as unusually close to report notes. And I'm going to stop right there. But that is essentially the beginnings or not the beginning, the Global Fragility Act. Fragility Act, sorry. It's so much that goes into this story making to creating the empire, the United States empire's narrative to pull off these imperialist acts. There's so much that goes into it, law, so these things are in planning for years and decades. And sometimes they're short, they're something that come up short term or in a short short time frame. But I'm going to leave it there as far as go check out this article yourself. Go read it for yourself. It is a little bit longer, but I'm going to stop there because I want to squeeze in this other topic before I have to make an exit to go pick up the little ones here. But let me toss up a little bit of the U.S. manages. You have resources. The U.S. needs to invade to spread democracy. The Global Uppity Act, don't get it uppity, or we will invade you. Gotta have that cheap Haitian labor to make our fashion. Pennies on the dollar. USA is exporting fragility to those areas where socialism is succeeding. Great comment. I think I'm going to wrap this segment, and there's a lot still missing in the story, but not in the story, but a lot still that can be added to sort of what's happening here. Because they're just layers on top of layers. I'm going to do one final look for any sort of suitable corporate media coverage on Haiti, just so Haiti, ABC News, let's see, and see what they're saying here. Because I'm curious to see how they're reporting this. Wow. So, wow, let's see. That came up with ABC News when I typed that in. Wow. So let's play this one. So this is NBC News, and guess who they have on the front of their look? Can you see that on the screen? That's barbecue. So let's see what they're going. UN considers sanctions targeting Haiti gang leader barbecue. Haitians continue anti-governmental protests. So let's watch one from CBS and one from NBC and one from CBS to get these corporate takes on these matters. So let's see what both of these corporate entities are, how they're reporting this. So let me play it. Both of these are very short. This one's 3 minutes. Oops. And let's unpause it or unmute it. And let's listen.
Tonight, the tables could be turning on the gangs in Haiti as violence and economic turmoil continues to plague the nation. The UN Security Council now targeting gang leaders and their supporters, considering travel bans and arms embargoes on anyone threatening the peace, security, or stability of Haiti. Sites like this becoming more and more common as frustration with the nation's high inflation and political turmoil boils. Gangs gaining power over a nation trying to get back on its feet after the assassination of its president, Jovenel Moïse, last year. Speaking in Washington yesterday,
of course, corporate media is not mentioning anything of how the U.S. has have their hands on it, or anything about how the current president has suspicion around him. None of this. No context. Just they need to explain dark people looting. Picture here, sinning white savior, America.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken said their efforts have been an uphill battle.
Big parts of the capital, other parts of Haiti, are actually controlled by gangs, not by the state. Ports are blocked, roads are blocked, so some of the things necessary to deal with the cholera outbreak simply can't get to where they need to go.
Now, the United Nations Security Council also...
This is how you build the... You're setting fertile ground for your propaganda. You plant your propaganda seeds to create conditions for you to believe the propaganda. So they're able to get you to believe the story by showing you the pictures, but the pictures is not telling you that this is what's happening in Haiti is because of capitalism, colonialism, racism. You saw the Black Alliance for Peace statement. None of that context is to show you why it looks the way it looks. So let's let this play out. It's another 2 minutes of this.
So weighing in, their eyes set on Jimmy Chedesier, also known as Barbecue, over the role his G9 gang has played in a blockade of Haiti's principal fuel terminal. A move that has dried up fuel supplies as the country already suffers from a water shortage due to a cholera outbreak that's putting 1.2 million children at risk.
Schools are closed, hospitals are closed, and farmers are having trouble bringing their goods to the market.
The United States stepping up and targeting those in support of gangs, leading to visa sanctions on 11 people so far. And China saying it supports the UN's plan to sanction gang leaders. A move that could perhaps be a step toward more peaceful days.
And Stephen Rumwood joins us now here in studio. Stephen, thanks for joining Top Story. The UN announced earlier today that Haiti is seeing catastrophic levels of hunger. From your reporting, what are people...
Understand how white bread sort of audiences are watching this. It's like, oh, wow. Just like here in the United States with the coloreds and the browns and the blacks, they're always causing problems. Look over in Haiti. This is just how they are. You see how it plays into the believability of the criminalization of black people, black men in particular. It's all wrapped in this, and I don't want to get on a tangent because that's where this is leading, but let me get back to the video. Actually, let me play the next video because I don't need to hear this white guy's commentary on this shit. Let's go to this video. This one is from CBS News. This one is titled Haitians Continue Anti-Government Protests. This was also a few days ago. So let's listen to this reporting, corporate news covering it. And oops. Here we go.
Thousands of Haitians are taking to the streets calling for the resignation of the country's prime minister. The anti-government protests come after several weeks of violent demonstrations that were sparked by an announcement that fuel prices would increase. Anger has also been boiling over as gang violence has spiraled out of control in Haiti. Last week, the Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry asked for the international community to deploy armed forces in the country. For more on this, I want to bring in Vanya Andre. She's a contributing journalist for the Haitian Times. Vanya, can you just tell us exactly what's going on right now in Haiti?
Sure, thank you for having me. So what we're essentially seeing is...
So I don't know who this person is. I'm not going to make any judgment. But understand, do you believe that a corporate-owned news organization like CBS, who's invested in the military complex or invested in that being continuing the status quo, do you believe, without knowing who this is or listening to anything, do you believe they're going to bring on somebody because they're trying to, oh, she's Haitian, so we need to believe this. That's what they're trying to portray. Do you really believe they're going to bring on a Haitian person that's going to say anything to the contrary of U.S. imperialist interests? Do you believe that? So with that question, now let's listen to what she says.
Is a situation that is quickly deteriorating. We see lawlessness on the streets. There's utter chaos, and essentially gangs have completely seized the capital and are blocking access to vital resources like gas and water, which is exacerbating the cholera epidemic that we're starting to see take root into the country.
This is just a blackface. This is just a blackface. You know, this is just identity politics. You can't have a white guy come in and say all this shit about this country. You got to have a dark-skinned person come in and say the same shit. Help the narrative. And that's what the ruling class have picked up, i.e. Stacey Abrams, i.e. Barack Obama. I mean, just one after another. Let's continue.
It's really a situation where the government has lost control of what's happening on the ground, and people are hopeless, which is adding to all the protests that we've seen develop over the past couple of weeks.
And these gangs are doing, well, I guess one of the most powerful gangs seized control of a fuel terminal in the country's capital. What are the gangs doing? I mean, other than just creating mayhem, are they seeking to control and is there some end game to all of their violence?
So what's really...
What are the gangs doing other than creating mayhem? Because a gang, you understand, because the gang can't be doing anything but creating mayhem. That's why they have to label it a gang. This is propaganda tech. This is like 101.
Really interesting with these gangs this time around with the chaos that's happening in the country is that they have become increasingly political savvy. They know how to somewhat build political capital within the community. So it's not only a matter
They're trying to explain away barbecue's popularity in the community. So they got this sellout piece of shit right here to come on and sell out her own people. That's what this is. This sellout piece of shit.
Them creating mayhem. It's also a matter of them knowing how to work international media to get their messaging across. They also have boots on the ground in the sense where they're physically able to block access to the ports, to vital areas where people go for water, where people go for food. You have a situation where people cannot leave their homes for weeks. Students are not able to go to school. So it's really a holistic approach that we see them doing this time around that we haven't seen before. It's a much more sophisticated approach. What their end game is to be seen. Today, actually, on the Haitian Times, we published a piece that one of the main leaders of the gangs, Jimmy Barbecue Chelizier, he released a transition plan, essentially outlining what he would like to see happen within the country. A lot of that is outside of the realm of our Constitution, but what the end game is yet to be seen. But what we do know is that these gangs are becoming increasingly political savvy, and they know.
So she tried to use, it's outside of the realm of our Constitution, as if that's what's happening in this country, as if the fucking Constitution is being used and followed in this country. But it's being used to say what you're asking for, all these social things you're asking for, that's outside the realm of our Constitution, as if the Constitution applies here. So let me see how much more of this shit, because I can't listen to sellouts. Really irritate me.
They know how to work the media and the community.
And now back to the idea of an outbreak. The UN said basically that the country's threatened with an outbreak of cholera, which killed 10,000 in the country after the 2010 earthquake. In the conditions we've been talking about, how does cholera get addressed? Is it even possible? And how dangerous a situation is that?
It's dangerous because the reason why the cholera outbreak is happening is because the gangs have cut access to gas. So now the folks that transport water, they're unable to even get around to access water for people.
So I'm going to stop it here. So the gangs, see, again, it's a constant. The gangs is the ones that's causing everything you saw on the screen. Don't blame capitalism or anything like that. It's the gangs that's causing. See the fires, all this shit is by the gangs, not neoliberalism. The cost of living, the cost of gas, it's gangs' problem. Yeah, man, what a sellout. What a sellout piece of shit. So let's transition. I think I'm gonna end there. We're gonna have to revisit this story because it's still developing. It's still things are still gonna be happening. U.S. sends troops to Haiti, hands off Haiti. So we're gonna have to just update the story when we get more information. But let me at least throw the headline up for this next story up. U.S. rehearses dropping nuclear bomb in Europe. And I'm probably going to have to cover this tomorrow or another day because I don't want to just throw it together a few minutes, but I did want to make sure those who are expecting this to be during the stream that that I'm going to have to cover this another day. I don't want to give this a short sort of abbreviated version of the segment that it should have. So I'm going to pause it there. Thank you for joining me on You Left Shit Out. Tomorrow is RBN Live. I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about the upcoming summit. The summit that's coming up this Saturday and Sunday. I could show you a couple of graphics really quick about this upcoming summit. Let's see if I can get to it. So yeah, I'll show you. Is it this first one? Yeah, this first one here. So let me look and see. Let me take this off. Let me put this up so we can make this bigger. All right, so this is our activist summit, October 22nd through 23rd, 10 a.m. East, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. That's streaming every day. So Saturday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Is that 12 hours or so of streaming? And then Sunday, same sort of deal. Different activist panels. These are some of the panels we already have. Union efforts. Let me put this graphic up and I'll just read it that way. So yeah. Union efforts, police activists, Marxist roundtable, LGBTQIA rights, anti-war and war propaganda, Verizon strike, Assange activists, disability rights activists, healthcare activists. And let me go to the next one here because it continues. Activist summit, just another one, bringing activists together nationwide. And this is another one, some more panels, climate activists, unhoused or homelessness, ruling class censorship, Palestinian activists, food security, global South activists. So that is this upcoming Saturday and Sunday, October 22nd and 23rd. So make sure you plan ahead and hopefully can catch parts of this. We're going to try to put out a schedule the day of. It's not going to be like it's days before. I don't want you to even think that. It's going to be like literally like the day of, right before, a schedule of some of the things we're going to be talking about. And maybe that way you can kind of pick and choose and hopefully plan ahead to make the segments that you really want to make or attend or view live. So make sure you check out the activist summit. If you are an activist and you want to still participate, it is open still for people that want to participate. So you can go and email us at revblacknetwork@gmail.com and we will talk to you or respond back about the summit and see if we have a place for you on one of the panels. So I think I found our closing video. I'm gonna be late to picking up my daughter, but that's okay. I'll try to toss up your comments. I'll toss up some of your comments as we go out. As long as we're still streaming, I'll try to throw up your comments. So throw up your last comments here, and I'm gonna toss them up for this last. How long is this video? This video is 2 minutes. So for this last 2 minutes, I'll toss these up. And text me daughter that I'm running a little bit late here. So signing off here. Join us tomorrow, the RBN live, and then tomorrow night I'll be here for NBA on RBN with Chuck Modi, a new sports show on RBN. So yeah, this is my middle daughter I'm picking up, so it's fine. I'm picking her up late. She's in junior high, so she's okay, hanging out with her friends. Anyway, let's end with this video. This is Stokely Carmichael talking about capitalism, socialism, and everything in between. Great clip. And signing off, this is You Left Shit Out.
Well, I think that the real question is that people are not clear on capitalism because capitalism is a very vicious system. But what it does is it embroideries its viciousness with all sorts of elusive terms. For example, many of us would support capitalism because we actually believe that in a capitalist system, there's a chance for us to get the same amount of money as Rockefeller gets, because we're told that under capitalism, there is equality of opportunity. So that we feel that if this year we didn't make as much as a Rockefeller made, then we got to work a little bit harder. And next year we're going to make it. But if we carefully examine a capitalist system, we will see that it's based on exploitation, because the viciousness of capitalism, and the reason why once Black people examine it, we can never be for it, is that under a capitalist system, the fruits of those who labor are enjoyed by somebody else. That is, those who do the laboring, the fruits of their labor, they don't enjoy it. As a matter of fact, we could say under capitalism that the fruits of the labor of the toiling masses are enjoyed by those who do not labor. And again, as Black people, we have clear examples of it. If we were to get the fruits of our labor from slavery, just from slavery, all we got to do is go to Nixon and say, hey, look, you give us the fruits of our labor from slavery and we forget the score. We would be the richest people in the country. Again, because under capitalism, the individual exploits the labor of the people. Now, people get confused because this is a capitalist system and it's a developed system. It's a technological system. So they combine capitalism with technology and development, and they think that there is no other possible way to develop this rapid terms of development without going through the capitalist route. But certainly we have examples that show the opposite of that. China is a clear example of that. Cuba is, North Korea, North Vietnam. These countries certainly in Africa, where countries have chosen the socialist path, such as Tanzania, Guinea, Congo, Brazzaville, Algeria, we see that there is another way to develop and get the same type of things that we have under the capitalist system, but in a system that does not exploit.